Alright, so everything's working. Seems so. Alright. Yep. Alright, cool. So, continuing on. Last time, on the planet of... I don't remember the name of the planet. Did some exploring. Talked to some Eldar. Learned about what was really... why the Eldar were there. Convinced Kaligos and the Eldar to not to fight. Learned that the homunculus, Cervantes, was on the planet, so hunted down him and killed him. And then I killed him, and then I killed him, because he had clones. Or copies or something. And anyways, put my way through that. Learned that Kaligos Windowscale is not in fact a Chaos Worshipper. In fact, it was actually his Archbilton, which was a bloodletter. So have I been here? Oh, yes I have. Yeah, there's nothing to do here. So now it's off to the next place. Because I've done everything I can to do here. And I can do the colonies. Promethean pimp people weapons. So I just simply have to have these effects. And I get all this stuff. Nice. Okay. Here, nothing yet. What do I actually need? You complete holy ammunition for that. Wait, which one of these do I want to do? I think I was wanting to do the pyroplasma. More phlogiston, need more with the explorers, extractium igniferia. Or was it sky barrier? I don't remember. Oh, either way, I can't do any of them. Over here. Cost people, get promethium. It also unlocks the other thing. Don't know if I want to do that yet though. Earthbreaker needs Fluxstone. Not doing. Piercing. I need a Plasteel. Whatever. Moving on. I need to go to Dargonis or something. One-way road. So I can make my way north. Ish. Do one-way road, which is so there's starting an abandoned colony, and then the colony ship went dark shortly after its arrival in the system. That's going to be worth investigating. And the contracts really interest me. Anyways, let's go investigate about that colony ship. Okay, things got finished. Argonis is crying out for aid, Lord Captain writes. Anything important happened last time? So at the planet, basically met with some Eldar, met with the Eldari, well, found the Eldari on the planet, convinced Kaligos to not kill the Eldari, and convinced the Eldari to not kill Kaligos. So peace, yay. Learned that the homunculus that, Travantis, I believe, who tortured and stuffed the party on, in Komora, was also there, so hunted down and killed him. Then learned that a bunch of people at the village got slaughtered by Kaligos because he went mad. He went crazy. And it turns out he went crazy because his arch-militant was actually a demon in disguise. And was purposely trying to turn Kaligos into a chaos worshipper to get him to do evil stuff and like cause a bunch of like chaos and corruption and damage and stuff like that. Convinced Kaligos that he was going crazy. Kaligos turned on the Arch-Militant, demanding answers. Arch-Militant revealed that he's a demon. Kaligos stabbed him. Stabbed the demon stabbed Kaligos. Demon was banished. Kaligos barely lived. And that was pretty much it. I mean, there's like a lot more, but like those were like the big things, I guess. Oh, and Travantis is now actually dead. Which is good. He deserved it. Alright, anyways, now I was doing some colony management and then heading north, so figuring out what's going on in Dargonis now. Dargonis is crying out for aid, Lord Captain. Writes over the interpretation of scripture had broken out in several hives across the wall. While hunting for the agents of the cult of the Final Dawn, the Ecclesiarchy clamped down the planet's minor cults. They enforced correct adherence to the creed upon the populace. The commoners grumble about the operation of the minor cults, about the oppression of the minor cults, even daring to claim that the holy ecclesiarchs have assumed the sole right to speak for the God Emperor. Many a disgruntled flee to the ruins of the Sipanine hive, since the Foreman clan has promised them protection and support. He's even said that the Foreman supplied the malcontents with weapons converted from industrial equipment, in case of large-scale classes. Forces and the agents of the ecclesiarchy have been able to curb the malcontents so far, but division grows wider by the day. Okay, why are the informant involved? Great question, Lorca. This group does come up in the reports from the capital world rather often. I assume that this is due to the fact that in their now ruined home, Symphony, they used to have a prevalent, more simplistic form of revering the Emperor. Preachers there used to teach the Symphonians the importance of hard work and of the laborers' collective familial unity, but seldom the importance of order and hierarchy. They offered their congregation a form of faith that was as simple, cheap, convenient, and functional as their work clothes. And now they seem to think that the priests who wallow in luxury and want to take us away from them. Okay, any chance that this is inspired by the heretics? Thankfully, no, your lordship. The rebel rousers zealously oppose heresy, fill the ranks of the planetary guard with new recruits, regularly outperform quotas, and in prayer service. The Forming clan have been actively involved in uncovering the underground devotees of the ruinous powers and has discovered 2 large successfully operating cells. Our agents are quite confident the likelihood of them harboring agents of the cult found on is far lower than other segments of the population. So my options are simply side with one or the other. Book of Minor Prayers, what? Wearer cannot use psychic or navigator powers. The wearer gains a 100% chance to ignore damage from psychic navigator. Lord Imperium. 120% chance to ignore damage from psychic and navigator powers. What nonsense? Alright, anyways, what would my advisors have to say about this? Abelard, small deviances in the creed beget larger ones, and large ones beget heresy. Our faith is founded upon absolute trust in those above us. And if these people's beliefs push them towards dissent, then those beliefs have been wicked from the very beginning. But it does not necessarily make the preachers themselves wicked, perhaps simply misguided. Could pass this into the ecclesiarchy's care for ecclesiarchy's care for re-education, so that it might see the truth, and it will also guarantee their flux obedience. Jean, perhaps you should stop allowing the fat cardinals and their servants to do whatever they want to your people. Rein them in. Faith in the exalted one is not contained within ranks and titles, but within the hearts and hands of the common people. Even this can take many forms as well. Those who shoulder the welfare of Dargonus at least choose in which manner they pray to him. The minor cults under your protection. Why does this benefit the Fellowship of the Void? Or is it just simply because it's Jai? I would have expected the Book of Minor Prayers to be here, and the plus 15 from that to be here, whatever. I'm gonna take number 5. The Fellowship of the Void does have some nice things I would like to get. Well, the Drusians also have nice things. Yeah, let's support the minor cults. Or... Well, they're not really chaos. They're not heretical, they're just different. Granted, in the state of things in the Warhammer 40k, the different and heretical are practically the same, but I'm gonna go protecting the minor cults. Also, plus 15 is a pretty nice bonus. Protect the minor cults. Mercy would go down the Nulls of Darkonis, Shireen. Common folk rejoiced at the news of their victory, scoffing at the gilded priests. They offered up a thunderous prayer for the rogue traitor. Thanks to the protection of the rogue traitor, the agents of the ecclesiarchy were forbidden from entering the chapels of the minor cults. Okay. That also finishes that, so what next? Weapons, people, Prometheum. I can afford all that. Now get me increased relations with the Imperial Navy. Increases security. Red warp routes always become orange. That's actually incredibly helpful. So let's go with that. Wait, did I just finish? Oh wait, what the crap's going on in Janus now? Lord Captain, an Ordo Xenos punitive unit led by Acolyte Lenet Zu has arrived on Janus. The Inquisition forces have already taken control of the Governor's Palace and intend to inquire into the recent anomalies on Janus. Henrix? I talked to you and the Lord Inquisitor about this, and this was fine. Why are they here? I am surprised that they have informed us of their arrival at all. It demonstrates a semblance of trust. Not helpful, Henrix. How much did the Inquisition sniff out? The initial interrogations have set Linet Zue on the track of the wretches towards the anomalous region, but her people continue to dig deeper, so to speak. So let the Inquisition do their job, which is hexagrammic grace, 10 logic plus 10 coercion plus 10 persuasion. Trick them. I'm certain to persuade the Inquisition that there's nothing significant on the planet and lose profit factor. When the expulsion of these impudent fools, we'll lose 1 to everything. So I don't want to lose profit factor. Letting them do their job is likely to hurt Janus. Because I am working with the Eldari on Janus. And to piss off the Inquisition is not a good idea. So what think you, my officers and advisors? Cooperating with the Inquisition would do us more good than trying to hide the current misfortunes of the colony, and send a message to keep us informed about the interrogation, as a favor. If only we could throw them a bone and let them find the evidence they want, one that we can get by without. The rest could be concealed away from their inquisitive eyes, like a sand lizard shitting its tail. Sometimes one must cede the battle to win the war. Why did that not unlock new options? I actually lost an option from that. Is that a glitch? Crap. Let me look up to see if this is a glitch or something. Okay, I'm not finding anything about this. Okay, yeah, I'm not finding anything. So I guess just let the Inquisition do their job, because I'm not about to piss off the Inquisition. Sarah Jansen of the Influences Dynasty. After Lady Zua has set up her headquarters with Governor's Palace, she began to investigate the decision of Janus. All was feeling guilt for the crimes before the Emperor could only stay silent and pray. During this, Selena was able to establish that the genetic changes in the wretch's bodies were caused by mysterious substances secreted into the water by Xenooblis. Substances were not contained with the water until recently, as shown by the analysis of the Magos biologists. The same Xenooblis appear to be linked by a chain of ancient communications, also serving as sources of known radiation that seem to have caused the outbreak of contaminated growth in the currently uncontrolled sector of the planet, simply causing the appearance of the mysterious phantoms. According to Lezu's theory, there may be some sort of ancient mechanical construction of Janus that has awakened from its slumber. It's possible that anomalies occurring on the planet are merely the side effects of the blasphemous machine trying to start itself. Okay. Actually, Great Fire. Let's try looking that up. Cool. There's like just nothing about it. Alright, anyways. Disposed of, returning to the normal station point, save billions of lives. I think I'll go with Shelter. Methium provisions, easy enough. Merciful Savior feature is actually pretty nice. because that does stack pretty crazily with some things that allow for natural healing. So I'm gonna go with that. Which the Navy is just automatically finished. I was saying with the Vibranium, right? Or what was I saying? Night after under the ages, bumping off of the arbitrariness of the first and pay their favorite good film trophies. 8 minutes orphans whose parents fell in the fire that gripped their experience. I'm going Society of Cartographers. Promethean mechanisms, I have plenty. Actually, no, I'm pretty low on Prometheum now that I look at it. Gained a lot of reputation with the Imperial Navy, a lot of Xenotech, Adamantine, and Phlogiston. Which I need, like, all 3 of those for stuff. Don't know what I'll do with that, but whatever. Or should I go with this? Because that increases efficiency for all colonies. And security for all colonies. Cost provisions and weapons. I got enough of both. And that's some pretty good light armor. I'm gonna go Scala Prognium. Oh, it's just instantly completed again. Okay. Terrible news from Dargonis, your lordship. Your vigilant servants have discovered an abscess of treachery on our capital wall. One has grown far too large and could rupture any moment. The informants report the group known as the Foreman clan is actually a cover for a horrendous cult of genetic aberrations. What the crap? We currently have their people in every echelon of the hive. They are traitors to the purity of humanity, traitors to the creed, rebels, and heretics. What exactly did my people find out? One tenacious clerk from the Administratum questioned the authenticity of the reports coming from the ruins of Stephanie in 84249. The person observed the debris removal and entered the lower levels of the fallen hive. There he discovered signs that prove Stephanie has been infected by the gene plague. Thousands of corpses of the extra-armed abominations have been buried in a mass grave. There's also found the remains of Achilles Scalander's people. It seems that they had noticed the signs of corruption, and the traitors, aiming to cover up their crimes, buried their misdeeds under the ruins of the hive. On the way back, the cleric's transport was destroyed, but he miraculously managed to survive. And the heretics think they have uncovered their tracks once more, and so they continue the plot, so oblivious and unprepared for our attack. What is this mutant plague that has affected our capital? Horrendous distortion of the human form. It seems that they spread their poison by biting and enslaving their victims. Some of them distinguishable from normal humans, while others are disgustingly ugly. Heretics hide them away from prying eyes. They seem to be connected by a common consciousness and are absolutely loyal to the despicable cult. Asoprat, the choir master of Dargonis, has suggested that the cult may be behind the extermination of the Psychers on the planet, since the ghosts have a powerful consciousness of some sort. Is this a gene stealer cult? Oh god. Unsanctioned Psychers gathered in Dargonis are ready for the psychic engagement. Sadly, they are not very skilled, but they do not fear death. They are too used to its constant companionship. The enemy will not strike fear in them. Forming clans that cover for this disgusting cult? Indeed, they probably began recruiting workers. It was easy to blend in with the laboring riffraff, posing as a union of technomats. They were able to conceal their secret operations and infiltrate into the upper echelons of power. This new crisis allowed them to gain more of our trust and resources. And most despicable of all is that they have perverted our faith. They revere the God Emperor in the form of a four-armed monstrosity. Their prayers are full of hatred towards those in power and promises of reckoning when their dreadful deity will come and equate them with their oppressors. With us, that is, many fools and troublemakers have fallen for their lies. Gene Stealers. So, the Gene Stealers, they were encountered in the game so far. That was quite a while ago. But Gene Stealers are effectively the... So, there's this race of bug things called Tyranids, which are a hive mind bug people that literally eat entire planets. Like, they will swarm a planet, kill the population, and just literally eat the planet to its core. And then their fleet will move on to the next planet and do it all over again. And they're like a very serious threat. And the way they find planets with actual biomass for them to eat and use, they send ahead Gene Stealers, which are basically kind of an infection that will twist and mutate a person, and basically it makes them a slave to the Tyranid hive mind, and then try to advance the hive mind's goals by basically getting our planet ready for the Tyranids to show up and eat it. So if these are Gene Stealers, then this planet is in serious danger if they are not dealt with, like, immediately. So, yeah, the Gene Stealers are a very, very dangerous threat. Yeah. Livings include labor summons of runes. They could act with impunity, but at least it prevented them from infecting the hives as severely as they could have done. In order to stood up for the mighty cults, they received a golden opportunity to recruit more openly into their ranks, which are now brimming with fools who have yet to realize they are now partaking in a heretical conspiracy. Hendrix, where are those mutants? They're called Gene Stealers, called it! And they are not simple mutants. They are a Xenos plague that breeds inside the human brain, forever distorting their genetic makeup and enslaving them to the brood. This is much more threatening than the Drukhari fleet that ravaged the capital earlier. They are Argonus, then they will try to overtake the entire planet, sooner or later. The messengers of the Great Devourer. I can't sense the shapeshifters, but you should stay vigilant, Elentalk. For a species as psychically weak as the Monkai, their arrival may spell death. What forces do they have at their disposal? The heretics mostly consist of workers, but some have infiltrated the guard as well. The weapons are primarily made from repurposed industrial machinery. Cultists are fearless and will readily sacrifice themselves for the sake of their common goal. The worst part is their psychic threat. You can even begin to gauge it. Fear that tribes of the Engine Vandals will support them as well, partially influenced by the plague and partially lured on the promise of a good raid. We have to act. We have to do something. This is screw it all, burn it down type of threat. Absolutely right. It's impossible to negotiate with the degenerates. Our only option is to completely annihilate them. We should start from the top. Should we attack decisively and quickly, or should we show our hand by bringing assault vehicles into the capital and gaining an advantage in firepower? Do we quietly eliminate their leaders, or do we rain destruction upon the infected territories and cleanse them of traitors? Raise the people to battle and publicly proclaim war. Tell the people that the heretics are hiding among them, and the millions of loyal subjects will grind the thousands of traitors to dust. The Dargonis cleanse itself of this filth. Cleansing should be thorough. A good few wrecks of dead ships still linger in orbits after the days of Xenon scum attacked your plans. Command your fleet to pick them up and send them plummeting towards the nest of the spawn trying to encroach on your domain. Since all of them are linked by a common will, we could start by launching our attack there. As the required could drown out the voice of the broad, we would be able to launch a sudden strike not quickly enough before the enemy could restore cohesion and alert their forces to the assault. Honestly, their strongest point is the hive mind effect. Their psychic potential for both communication and actual threat is big. So, making it quick and quiet to get rid of the leaders first just isn't going to work. It won't work against Gene Stealers because of the fact that, number one, it won't be quick and quiet because they'll be aware of it. Once you make one alerted to your presence, they all are alerted to your presence. So as soon as the first leader goes out, the rest of them will know that something's coming for them. Also, too, take out the leaders, and the people below are still infected and capable of spreading the infection. So, even killing the leaders, you still have Gene Stealers. So let's knock out the psychic effect, because that will do more more than killing their leaders would. And the problem for Argenta's plan is that sending the people to fight, well, yes, that will be good for exposing them, for exposing the Gene Stealers. It's also going to put a lot of people at risk, both for further infection, for being deceived, and for the Gene Stealers to be like, all right, screw it, and they just go all out as well. And I don't like Alfred's plan because number one, there's probably a lot of innocents that would be killed, and number two, that's not guaranteed to get all of them. Gene Stealers are pretty durable. So if you don't kill all of them, they'll just dig their way out of the rubble and continue again. So no, they're called Gene Stealers because they actually like manipulate a person's genes and like twists their it mutates them and twists their genes and stuff like that. The eventual thing is late stage Gene Stealers are practically just straight up Tyranids. They like will actually generationally twist a person's genetics. So like the initial batch of them will be genetically altered. Though that batch has children, which are then even more genetically altered, and then so on and so forth, until you have basically just Tyranids on the planet. And usually it's around that time that the Tyranid fleet shows up and just eats the planet. And in situations like this, don't bother siding with the Gene Stealers because the Gene Stealers also get eaten by the Tyranid fleet when they show up. So the Gene Stealers will literally be like, "Yay, our god has come," and then they get eaten by Tyranids. So, yeah. There are no winners when there's a Gene Stealer cult. Not even the Gene Stealers win. Anyways, Henrix, do the thing. Shut down their psychic abilities. Shut down their psychic abilities, and they're just a bunch of mutants. A bunch of confused mutants. And then you beat the crud out of them. I will send the Inquisition directives developed specifically for the scenario to Dargonis. At the appointed time, the Enforcers started their simultaneous raids in all the hives of the capital. Relying on stealth and surprise, they did not use heavy weapons of war. At the same time, the Astropathic Choir launched a truly devastating attack on the grim psychic shadow hanging above the hives of Dargonis. This attack stunned the brood of heretics and temporarily cut off their psychic communication. The heretics did not go down with a fight. Soon, an enraged outcry of psychic energy from their brood swept through the hives, plunging the dynasty's brave warriors into horror or bloody insanity. As the Private Choir managed to drown it out with their menacing chants, this was a test of wills, and only the most disciplined and steadfast psykers withstood its sheer force. The almost surprise facilitated the swift extermination of the cult leaders, leaving the rest of the heretics to lose heart. Filthy shrines of the heretics were set ablaze. Only one thing filled the rogue trader servants with unease. Inside the cult's main temple, they found the den of some grotesquely enormous monster. It was empty. They did not find the beast. The Emperor had not have been merciful to Dargonis, the monster would surely have perished in the fires that engulfed the hives during that cycle. Oh no. Tainted Phylactery. The wielder gains plus 50%, 56%. Plus, Lore Xeno Survivor 3, hit critical hit chance against Xenos. I don't trust that. I'm just gonna let that sit around. Alright, next. Rise of the Muses, Call to Arms. Weapons. I got plenty of weapons. Let's do that for more security. Kiva Gamma has nothing. The Abyss 6 has nothing that I'm ready to do. I could do that for more Promethium. I actually need more Promethium, so gotta set that up. Okay, that just completes. After Xenos, I don't want to suffer that security and profit factor loss just for more people. I have 69 people. Nice. And Pulse for the Outcasts. Needs a Xenos X. Intoxicant. This requires more with the Drusians. Probably go for Palace for the Outcasts, because I don't want to do Raider base. Also, too, Master of the Shadowy Expanse feature is pretty powerful. And over here at Falstone, I need more of the Drusians. Alright, well, with that done, moving on. Oh, Captain, we have found the trail of the elusive Contempt. The ship was sighted in Litonian's passage. If we go after the pirates right now, we can catch them before those arrogant scoundrels slip away again. Okay. Oh, that's right there. Cool. Colony Janus has advanced. Janus! Oh no. Rollership, a monster storm has broken out in Janus. Apocalyptic anomalies are tearing our outer world apart. Their epicenter is the corrupted sector. Something must be done before the whole colony is destroyed. We must find the source of this madness. Calm down and report what exactly is happening here. The moaning earth, the purple glow in the sky, fire crashing on the ground from above and turning all they touch to ice. Terrible noise sweeping through the cities and killing anyone who hears it. A furious storm has covered half the continent. One can see its epicenter from orbit, the ruins of a xenostructure complex. What we thought to be the breeze of building had turned out to be a machine. Now it rises from its slate, emitting blue and purple light from the spheres fused into it. The crap? I don't think that's Eldari. The deadly spirits have become more material. Now everyone can see they are not dancing. They are fighting. Fighting and chanting two names. Halcon and Kesai. Thankfully, there are much fewer of them than there were before. Gaps appeared in the horrifying cyclone dance twisting about the epicenter. What do you know about this cataclysm? Leader of the Inquisition Squad, Lady Zhu, did not grace us with a full report since she has been hastily preparing for the expedition to the heart of the anomaly. She mysteriously claims that we have become witness to an ancient feud between Xenos, and in spite of our unfamiliarity with the conflict, it's important to choose our ally in this struggle, wisely, whatever that means. Some wretch by the name of Keg has come out of the wilderness to meet our people. It's hard to understand him, but he has managed to explain to the soldiers that Halcon and Kesai are fighting, Halcon in the usual way, and Kesai in a wrong, corrupted way. It seems that he wants to collaborate with us and is trying to ask for help. Let's help the Inquisition. People shall help Lezu break into the heart of the storm. Succeeded. The escort squad reports that the people of Lezu are demonstrating incredible skill, swiftly dealing with anomalies and advancing towards the epicenter. People have reached the Xenos ruins that once served as either a palace or a gargantuan machine. They have encountered an extremely high concentration of spirits. It appears the spirits are fighting among themselves with two particularly vivid, ghostly figures among them. One of these prominent spirits radiates blue light and seems to be clad in Eldari armor. The other is engulfed in purple flames and is clad in a Xenos ceremonial raiment. The other sounds reminiscent of Eldari's speech, but any attempts to translate them have proved unsuccessful thus far. Mirlet is an old dialect from time before the fall. Order your warriors to aid the spirit wreathed in blue. Fights for the Lilithan's purity against the despicable sorcery. Even an echo of the spirit's voice is enough to understand that his cause is just. And you can teach your people how to explain to the blue spirits that they are not their enemy. What does it matter what those spirits are babbling about? Both must be slain. I at Fater, turn to your warriors and inspire them to fight for their homes to the very last. They've already made sacrifices to get this far, so remind them what those sacrifices were for. Lady Zoo intends to fight both sides of the spirit conflict, but soldiers are waiting for you to confirm her orders. Those squads support the blue spirits. Make sure the men know the right words. Scouts attacked, destroying the purple spirits one after another. Blue phantoms recognized their new allies and did not harm them. Once the battle was over, the dignified spirits swathed in blue flames reached out to the scouts' thoughts, granting them visions. The planet, which was inhabited by Eldari prior to the fall, at some point between one of the many theaters of war between Central Excess, the dogma that reigned over the Xenos of that time, and aesthetic self-restraint, the local ruler, Kesai, was enlightened and wise, yet susceptible to depravity. His desire to transfer his soul to another form of existence, he created a mechanism that would let him take over the bodies and minds of all his people. One of the ruler's bodyguard, named Halcon, rose against the tyrant, mortally wounded him, but could not stop him from merging with the machine. Halcon then gave his life to bind his own spirit to the device and continue fighting herein. This tragic conflict marked the end of all Eldari on the planet, but preserved an echo of their souls, those of their leaders. Oh crap. When the ruler deals damage to the target with Lilithan's Fury, the target becomes blinded leading to combat. The first attack of Lilithan's Fury in a round against the blinded target does not set the attack on cooldown. Oh dang. Then the spirits disappeared. For how long? The bodies have fallen, and a strange relic discovered amid the ruins, with the only proof that for a single day, Janus was more engulfed in a war between long-fallen Xenos. Well, that happened. Lose provisions, lose profit factor, gain efficiency, and people. Don't need people. Secret later. Lose security, gain efficiency, gain respect with Bellic mission. What was that? Suffer in once in. Organs, large increased attachment, some address the control parts in other ways. Lose complacency, gain efficiency, lose people, gain profit factor. Let's go to secret layer. How much security do I have here? 10. And that's gonna go up once. Wait, didn't I finish that? Yeah, all colonies plus 3. Oh, does it max out at 10? Yeah, it maxes out at 10. Okay. So yeah, secret layer. Anyways, that's done. On to Latonian's Passage. We are hunting pirates. Zoop. Boxmaster puzzles voids distracts you from your duties. My apologies, Lord Captain, but I'm delivering an urgent report. Cargo Bay 73G has received some unusual cargo. One can call it that. The crew considered disposing of it, but do not dare to do it without your direct order. Cargo itself is a pile of corpses. None of the people were on the crew manifest. Judging by the injuries, they were killed instantly and painlessly, before somehow being delivered to the ship. Next to them, the crew found a strange horned mask of Xenos origin. Is this from Nocturne? What the crap does this even mean? What are your orders, Lordship? Was there a Xenos in fleshy clothes speaking in rhymes by any chance? They just falls quiet for a moment, either processing what she just heard or making inquiries through other Vox channels. Eventually, the Vox comes to life again. No, Lordship, and I doubt that such a conspicuous character could have slipped by unnoticed. I'll inform you if the crew reports seeing anyone like that. But why? Why would Nocturne of Oblivion send a cargo crate of corpses to me? I guess process the bodies? What? I guess process the bodies? Sit to your lordship. Do not disturb you any longer. What? Anyways, pirates. I've been here before. Probably. Hello again, pirates. I found you again. Pirate flotilla has gathered in a system with an especially prosperous extraction. The Augur cruise reports that all of the void ships share their signatures with elusive contempt. You hear a familiar, cheerful voice from the Vox. Shelby, the proto-speculator, sighs theatrically. You're hot on his heels. Coming between him and his fortune. Cargo ships are just about to take off from the bountiful planet. The rogue trader himself wishes to rudely interrupt their plans. That's quite alright. Shelby sounds thrilled by the sound of competition. The elusive contempt's captain is ready to wait for the next opportunity. For now, he'll leave you in the good company of his friends. See the pirate flagship beginning to maneuver to escape the warship. Don't let the insolent pirates escape. Fire a broadside the elusive contempt. Pew pew. Starboard batteries light up, firing a salvo. Missiles reach their target. Despite a direct hit, the elusive contempt manages to slip away once more, though it won't recover from the damage anytime soon. Stupid pirates. Oh, finally some competition. Leaves. What the crap?
All stations, report when manned and ready.
4 Claymore corvettes. What am I up against? Not that much armor, quite a decent amount of shield. Actually, decent amount. Decent all around. Hecutors. Stygius pattern, Stygius pattern.
Let the void sort them out.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go with this.
Batteries, fully.
And use that.
Salvo.
Alright, and then rear shields.
Detecting a vulnerability in the enemy's defenses.
2 HP! Goodbye, sword class. Thank you for your help, I guess.
No escape pods detected. No emergency beacon detected. No survivors detected.
Swing run.
All hands prepare for acceleration. Coordinates set. Land smasher. Volley.
We start shields. Advance shield to the front. I forgot to fire off a new wave of torpedoes as well.
Torpedoes away. Fire at will. Land smattering. Volley. Make every shot count.
Right side. And the torpedoes finish this.
Blessed are the faithful.
Alright, more pirates killed. Losers of Contempt escaped again. Thought I damaged it. Anyways, over to here to investigate the missing colony ship. Lord Captain, I'm bringing you new information about the Xeno devices you discovered during your time away. Ever since your return, the tech priests have been making every effort to comprehend the nature of this mysterious technology, and they have succeeded, to an extent. Many rituals and pleas to the machine god, they awakened the Xeno artifact. For but a moment, it produced a holographic copy of a planet and coordinates that match the location in Langren's belt. Perhaps you will wish to see with your own eyes what this destination holds. I think I've already been here before. Let's take Cassia. Let's take Jay. Jay. Pretty certain I've been here before. Okay, guess not. Second tier archetype. Linchpin, what does Linchpin do? Let's go with ally coordination. Common talent. Yeah, advanced skill. Where's that Eldari sword I got? Seriously, where is it? Little Thanos Fury. There it is. I'll give it to Jai. Well, this actually looks like more of a dagger.
Is there money to be made?
So I am here because a colony ship went missing. Let's sign a decree of Jupiter Nation will, by the grace of the God Emperor of mankind, we, Jamon Nigel von Powen, for the good of our world and the deliverance of our people from the wrath of the heavens and the fury of distant stars, hereby command to provide for the needs of the governor's office. No more, no fewer than 20 faithful young men and maidens, picked in accordance with our instructions. Each 7th rotation around the heavenly body, robust and firm in the spirit, body and spirit, voluptuous in shape, of similar height and stature, dainty and beautiful. Fair of hair and with eyes the color of midday sky. So shall it be. What type of nonsense crap is that? Is this like Slanesh cultist crap? Bonebreaker Maul. And it's a Bonebreaker Maul, the target must pass the toughness resistant test, or fall prone and gain a random trauma. Oof. Don't get hit by that. Oh god. Wait, was that a... What did that say? Excuse me? Warp Grenade. Requires Heretical Zealot. Deals 30 to 40 warp damage. What the crap?
My pleasure.
The desiccated manuscripts date back a dozen centuries. Probably one of the oldest. Was probably one of the oldest outposts of the Imperium. Combat servitors, ancient servitors. Break into the safe.
Just as I planned.
Another Bonebreaker Maul and warp grenades. Okay.
I always get the job done.
Loot. Force away boots. When the wearer parries an attack, they immediately strike back at the attacker. If this attack deals damage, the wearer performs kick to push the enemy away. Nice. When the wearer deals damage with a heavy weapon to an enemy, that enemy suffers +1 stack of perplexed. If 3 or more stacks of perplexed are already on the target, the wearer attacks also inflicts stagger for 2 rounds. Ouch. When the wearer performs a rogue hack or a desperate measure, they gain +2 AP, +6 MP, and 10 temporary wounds. For an Adeptus Astartes. Does anyone here have a good use for those boots? You do. You have good use for those boots. Because you parry a lot. When where parries intact, they immediately strike back at the target. Just kick. So if he parries, that's like 2 attacks and a kick he does. That's so stupid. This requires replacing her deflection gloves, which I don't want to replace. Actually, wear your boots. But you don't need that -15 recoil, because you don't suffer recoil. Oh, and apparently they fixed that armor buff being wrong. Here, have this. Actually, I want to test something with these boots. So how do these boots increase your parry? Where are the boots? Here it is. Because she can parry. So I'm curious what will happen if she parries and responds with an attack. Because then she would do that as well to inflict bleeding. I don't know, this might end up funny.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Decades of Decay suffers heavy damage, its wounds are greatly reduced. Oh, that's good to know.
Here, nothing escapes
Oh.
my sight.
Loot. And more loot. Broken books. Cannot go on like this, Helena. I cannot. I served my master loyally, as did my father and his father before that. This cannot continue. No. I am tired. To bury the corpses of murderers and traitors to the Imperium is a noble thing to do. Now I must conceal the deaths of these innocent young men and women. They are almost children. Cursed be the day when the governor became the ruler of this world. I will break this vicious circle. This I promise. Tonight I will flee the state, and together we'll journey to the Star Speakers. They will warn the servants of the God Emperor about the heresy lurking in these walls. They will return for us. They will save us. Just wait for me, Helena. Just wait until I return.
Over there.
Yep, so definitely got some heresy going on here. Based off of like how obsessed it was about looks and stuff. I'm guessing Slaneshi. Can I say hi? Surge's mechanisms are old and obsolete, and their organic parts have been replaced with improperly sized counterparts.
That's how it's done.
Loot. Immobilizing grenade, and antitoxin, toxin grenade, spouse. Later. Yes, you do have a point about that, and that is part of the grim darkness of how, like, that is part of the grim darkness of like how the Warhammer 40k universe behaves. But as well too, The other species, for the most part, are almost just as xenophobic. The Eldari are just as likely to kill you as the Imperium is to kill an Eldari. So, like, for hating on other species, it's kind of justified because a lot of the other species also hates on all other species. I just noticed that's not a servitor. That's an actual person just sitting there. But also, too, on the part of calling everything else heresy, is you have stuff like this pile of corpses. And this corrupted noble. So, the term heresy is thrown around a lot more than it should. A lot of it is just people trying to have better lives and stuff that gets called out for heresy and killed and stuff. And there's also things like here where it's like this blood sign decree. Where it's like, oh, each seventh creation bound the heavenly body, robust and firm in body and spirit, vulturous in shape of similar height and stature, dainty and beautiful, fair of hair and with eyes the color of midday sky, to be delivered. And then you have this pile of corpses. So, are the humans in the right? No. Is anyone else in the right? No. It's kind of a universe of, like, no one's in the right and everything's crap.
I always have a backup plan.
Anyways, let's talk to this guy and see what fun stuff he has to say. A lustily dressed, vaguely human-like carcass sits reclined in a massive Calixian oak armchair. Callous brownish and blue patches that cover the dead flesh, overlapping one another like snake scales. One of the hands, claws of exposed bone supports a grotesquely bloated face. The creature's chest remains motionless, and his eyes stay tightly closed, and yet the muscles in the distorted face twitch ever so briskly when you approach. Matinta draws her weapon and looks at you, and cocks a questioning eyebrow. They are not actually the strongest. They are presently the strongest. The Necrons are technically the strongest, but they don't really do anything. The Eldari were also part of the strongest, but their species has been on a great decline ever since they created Slaanesh, which really screwed them up. You know, making us God is kind of a big deal, and being the creators of the Chaos God kind of screws you over. The Tau, which aren't present in this, are kind of a newer race, so they haven't actually gained power. Humanity's kind of just at their peak, and is heavily degrading. So, humans are on the decline. Humans had their strongest point, and are now declining. Technically, everything in the universe, in the galaxy, is in decline. Except for the Tyranids. Tyranids are Tyranids. Open fire on the carcass, throw a grenade. So humans are not the strongest. The Eldari, 1-to-1, the Eldari are stronger, but they're outnumbered like 100-to-1. You have like the Necrons, which 100-to-1, the Necrons are stronger, but the Necrons also kind of just stay secluded their own worlds and kind of just are dormant. The Orcs just kind of orc around. They just do their own thing. The Tyranids are part of the reason why the humanity is on the decline. But humanity is just barely holding the front, I believe, with the Tyranids. So it's just in a war of attrition. I think the Tyranids are currently winning the war of attrition, but yeah. And then the Tau are too new of a spacefaring race. to actually do anything. They do show potential, so like give them like a few thousand years and maybe they'll be the strongest. But that's if they survive a few thousand years. Who are you? Speak up. Creature's eyelids flutter open, searing you with the natural glow of its yellow pupils. The disfigured lips twist, stretching the smile wider and wider, till the thin skin bursts with a sharp snap, revealing row after row of pointed teeth. Oh god, this is not chaos. I'm beginning to... Is this a Halo device? Not even going to repeat that. A twisted guttural voice bursts from the creature's throat and it roars with laughter. I think this may be a Halo device. God, Emperor, hear your daughters, please. May you guide my hand such that this heresy no longer defiles the ground upon which your servants tread. Sharp scales break away from the dense skin. If this is a Halo device, Agenda, you're gonna need to do that again. Sharp scales break away from the dense skin with every shot as the creature's flesh explodes, reducing its ugly carcass to a bloody pulp. The mutilated face, completely stripped of skin, even bones, grins at you with the demented smile of a severed jaw. Kevmorak, Elentok, do not get in the way. The projectile strikes right between the creature's glowing eyes, barely piercing the scale-covered forehead. The blood, black and viscous like tar, slowly runs down the malformed face. This is a Halo device. This is so much worse. So, explanation. Halo devices. They are called that because they come from the Halo stars. No one actually knows where they come from or what they're made of or how they work. But basically, you attach one to yourself and you become immortal. You become immortal, unkillable, and gain a lot of power. Until your body starts to degrade and your mind goes insane, as basically the Halo device, it's theorized that the Halo device is a type of reincarnation device from a dead Xenos race, that once you attach it to yourself, it will basically start to turn you into that alien race. And it's like super twisted and screwed up. So, like, for the first few years or whatever, like, you are going to be incredibly powerful, practically unstoppable. As you become just as indestructible as a Halo device is. Until, it starts to cause you to go more and more insane. And do things like debauchery, eat piles of flesh, eat raw flesh, kill people. And do that sort of crap. And get shot and do that sort of crap. So, I'm pretty certain this is a Halo device. And if so, this is about to be a fun fight. As I'm gonna have to shoot this guy a lot. Light of the throne, Jai clutches the Aquila, looking at the creature's corpse with disgust. Had to deal with mutants both in sewers of Footfall and the depths of the Underhives, but this one, did you see his eyes? They burn like embers in the empty eye sockets. Do not think me a coward, Lord Captain, but I prefer to leave this place as soon as we can. Who knows how many such creatures lurk in the palace depths. Hungry. Adira rubs her tendrils, shaking off sparks from her fingertips. I have no idea how starved I am. I am thirsty, a thirst that cannot be slacked. They want to eat, they want to drink. We are hungry. Eat, devour, eat, eat, eat. A long snake-like tongue emerges from the creature's mouth and licks its own blood, savoring it like a wine. The wound from the start heals before your very eyes, as if it was never there. Welcome to my feast. The creature idly jiggles its chins in an effort to remember human speech. Its jowls melding into its shoulders and faintly glowing ribcage, a peculiar accessory shaped like a scarab and covered in luminous patterns, has painfully lodged itself into the flesh of the creature, something that undoubtedly used to be a man. Yep, you have heard of the powerful Xenos artifacts from the distant Halo stars, discovered by humanity millennia ago. Artifacts belong to a race more ancient and the most venerable among the Eldari. Artifacts most impure, fatally dangerous, forbidden in the Imperium on threat of the cruelest of tortures, and yet capable of granting the darkest of human desires, a means to cheat death and to embrace life eternal. Halo device should not have gone to such a weak point. I will take it. Nope, you I say it before this. Let's fight. Begone, monster. Can't take it off? Not really. Number one, typically those who use a Halo device don't actually understand how it works. And it becomes so, like, embedded into you that to remove it would effectively be enough. You have to cause enough destruction to actually kill yourself. Which involves killing yourself on a, well, attached to a Halo device, which makes things even harder. So the harder you try to remove it, the more attached it becomes. And, yeah. And then the more attached it becomes, the stronger the area around it becomes, which makes it even harder to just, like, simply rip it off, or damage it, or anything. So it's a very nasty device. If you ever end up doing any type of, like, RPG or any of the TTRPG systems of, like, of Rogue Trader, of the Warhammer 40k, like Rogue Trader, Dark Heresy, Only War, that sort of stuff. If you ever think you're being offered a Halo device, turn it down and run away. It's not worth it. Anyways, I saved before this, so what's the worst that can happen? Begone, monster. The elucidator fails to interpret the twisted speech, taking root in your mind like a pestilent weed. The creature confidently smacks its lip. I will finally taste the savory flesh again.
I'll make an example out of you!
Stand your ground!
1,917 health! Armor 120%. Toughness 135. Agility, intelligence, perception, willpower, fellowship. Disturbed. So yeah, this is the type of crap that happens to you when you wear a Halo device. It looks really nice, until it isn't. At the end of his turn, the corrupted noble chooses his prey, applying the game for the feast effect on them. Creatures with this effect suffer 50% more damage than the noble's attacks. If the noble hits a target, he regains 10% wounds and removes this effect. When an attack deals damage to the creature greater than 15% of the creature's max wounds, I don't think that's gonna matter. He has natural armor on top of his already crazy armor. Combat Master. This creature switches negative effects, becomes staggered instead of suffering the stun or cannot attack effect, and becomes slowed instead of immobilized, and suffers side damping effect instead of psychosomatic trauma. Also, the creature is immune to falling prone. Corrupted Noble has a natural immunity to stun, to slowed, and staggered effects, yet he permanently suffers 3 stacks of the disturbed effect. At the start of his turn, the Corrupted Noble restores 5% of his maximum wounds for each creature with bleeding in combat. Corrupted Noble suffers more fire damage. Okay. Halo device. Rare gains the following: 25 strength, toughness, agility, and perception. Uses agility instead of intelligence, toughness. Uses agility instead of intelligence, toughness instead of willpower, and strength instead of fellowship. Immunity to injuries and traumas. Regenerates wounds per turn. Remember, the wearer kills an enemy, any damage they deal is increased by 1% until the end of combat. While the intelligence, willpower, and fellowship are reduced by -1, no less than 1, until the end of combat. toughness bonus divided by 2 wounds per turn. So this guy regenerates 8 wounds per turn, plus 5% of his maximum wounds per turn if someone's bleeding, plus 10% of his maximum wounds if he stabs someone who's he's currently hunting down. At the end of his turn, the criminal noble moves to the nearest servitor with either the searching for blood or searching for fear effect active. His movement does not provoke attacks or armed tumor. There are no servitors with such effects. The corrupted noble stays put. So who even will go after the servitors? So I need to kill the servitors so he can't use them. So step 1, everyone, except for Abelard, as far away as possible from this guy. 450. Race the machine, reject the plus 4, irresolute. So at the end of its turn, the servitor counts as full cover for its allies and grants adjacent allies half of its own deflection against ranged attacks. Loyal Syntown. At the end of its turn, the servitor gains one of the following effects: searching for blood. There is a bleeding enemy in the file cell radius. Searching for fear. There is an enemy without the bleeding effect in the file cell radius. Pincers. Strike. Decay. Feast preparations. Bleeding 4. If the target fails the toughness resistance test with a -20. So these guys cause bleeding. So I need to kill these combat servitors as fast as possible. Otherwise they're going to put bleeding on everyone. And this battle will go on forever. The ancient servitors don't look like they'll be much of a threat. Other than they're just going to be like super annoying and get in the way. Wait, this person uses toughness in place of willpower, right? Toughness instead of willpower. So I'm not going to be able to break this guy's will, because he has that high of toughness, so I won't be able to hit him with sensory deprivation.
Was that you? Or... That is not my destiny.
I still love the random screams. I don't know why.
Will do. But of course.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. If it serves your cause.
How is he still alive? Because he is just really, really, really tough.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
That's pretty much the best way to explain it. I mean, like,
If I must, I deal death with my hands.
he's just effectively and, well, in almost every way immortal.
This tedium is beneath me. I understand your intent. That is beneath me. If it serves your cause. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. I will not. If it serves your cause.
Sacrifice something to the God Emperor. The God Emperor is technically a being known as a perpetual, where he is effectively immortal.
Doubt is for the weak.
He's also an absurdly powerful psyker. Amongst other things, so he has just a lot going for him.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is what...
That's a funny falling over animation.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. You, my Emperor!
But yeah, it literally is that the God Emperor is just that powerful. He is called the God Emperor with good reason.
Indeed. At your beck and call. It will be done. I will do my duty. It will be done.
Dodged, god dang. What's this guy's dodge? Oh yeah, like 52. So I actually just barely dodged. Yeah. distance.
On it.
Bet Abelard could take him. You know what? Just maybe. Abelard's a little crazy like that.
It's as good as done. Who, if not me? I'll make it happen. Consider this a taste of what's to come. I'll see to it personally.
A moving target lives longer. You've got a problem. Aw, you're no fun. Don't get too comfortable. Tell me, and it is done. Am I getting paid for this?
I'll make it happen. It's as good as done. I'll see to it. On it. Best defense is a good offense.
High momentum.
Wanna see a trick?
I'll make it happen. Who, if not me? It's as good as... Another enemy down. I'll see to your end was inevitable. On it. Consider this a taste of what's to come. Here's my perfect moment. You never stood a chance.
Nice. He's out of ammo, but nice.
I can do that.
Aim on Abelard.
Will do. On it. Will do.
High momentum.
I understand your intent.
Alright, that's all the combat servitors down.
I approach the designated position. This tedium is beneath me. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. If I must.
I am his will made manifest. I'll do it. To my emperor. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Indeed. Grey hair, sure hair.
I'll make it happen. Who if not me?
Wait, what? Oh, sweet, I got his armor completely down to 0. Crap. Got all the penalties on the dude. Look at all these effects on the guy. And practically all of them are negative. Actually, all of them are negative. Boy, does that suck. For him.
I'll make it happen.
Oh, seriously, I missed?
It's as good as... Consider this a taste of what's to come.
You've got a problem? I've got a prize. I can do that, with the right incentive. I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury! I know what I'm doing, usually. Am I getting paid for this? I can do that, with the right incentive.
Alright, time to go a little crazy on this guy.
This is why I was chosen!
Get
Oh, sorry, Abelard.
I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands. You, my Emperor.
Oh, so many attacks. Get toxined.
There is movement in the Empyrean. Anything else?
Well, at least he's blinded for a turn.
Will do. But of course.
If it serves your cause, I am not your Xenos pet monkey. This tedium is beneath me.
Dang. Plus 2 deflection against bait range attacks, plus 10 toughness from Fortress Wold. Well, I got some pretty sweet armor. The thing's gonna force me to take it anyways, because you have to take all the loot before you can leave an area. I would so totally just leave it. Exemplar talent. Ooh. Fun stuff. So flush wounds. It's just a nice thing to have to gain health. Also, too, healing helps out with can't take out the magic skin. Darn. Also, too, it helps out with the fact of cruise. The one ability I got that every time I heal, I gain like plus 8% damage or something. Got a blast? All right. Well, thank you for joining. Oh wait, what? No bots. There have not been any bots. This is good. Where am I gonna get cheap viewers from? I don't need cheap viewers. That's just weird. I don't know. Those bots are always weird. I don't understand them. Where was it? Malign influence. Let's go do commerce. So let's take that. There's a lot that's just sitting there. The location, click the remaining trophies. Yep, okay. I guess that's going to my inventory. Never want to use it. Immunity to injuries and traumas. Generates 2 wounds per turn. All those bonuses. Never gonna equip that. And was that the secret of the missing colony ship? Yep, I guess so. Alright. Onwards to the Von Valancius Palace, because I got stuff to do there. Emergency aboard the void ship. Foul warmth news pierces the thin veil and natural hues. Some giggling. Let's go. Take hold for. Wait, if that increases his wounds, would that also increase his strength? Every attack. Let's take extermination. He makes a lot of attacks.
Your heresy ends here.
I understand your intent. If I must. Fortune favors the swift, if it serves your cause.
Dang.
Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, this is why I was chosen. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is... As the Emperor commands, I act.
Alright.
Follow my lead. At your beck and call. I will do my duty. Victory is imminent. That's not the Seneschal's job.
Dead.
I will see to it personally. I'll make it happen. On it. I'll make it happen. It's as good as done. I'll make it happen. Who, if not me?
High momentum. High momentum.
I will carve runes out of your bones. So it shall be. None can do. Feel the icy bite of dying disgrace. I have become the All-Father's worthy instrument! Corpse!
You've got a problem. I've got a problem. Never fight fair. Tell me, and it is done.
One fewer time. I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Alright, I was gonna give an extra turn to Ulfar to finish this. I can just do that instead.
Keep
Barely
your
anything.
wits about you.
Pilgrims. Rich spoils. Oops. Lose a point of efficiency, gain complacency, and bonus to relations with the Drusians. And this was, yeah, I wasn't wanting to do that. So, let's do that. Well, let's just go ahead and do that, just get out of the way. Okay. I don't need the extra efficiency, so... And I don't want to lose... Well, I could probably actually afford to lose that security, I just don't lose the profit factor. Alright, we got a few things to do here at Dargonis. Poisoned water. Cult the found downs poison the colony's water supplies. All who drink from the tainted source start mutating at frightening speeds. just an emergency shipment of water. Strike the people who have proclaimed that this plight is the Emperor's punishment for the tolerance of mutants and declare a hunt for the abominable scum. Cross apart from the Cognizance fleet. Or the tanks, and wait for people to wait for the next ship. Request support from the Cognizance fleet. Got good relations with them. Quickly and efficiently, the tech priest set a powerful water treatment plant. The purified water has a peculiar taste, but at least it is safe to drink. Okay. Going down with Abelard. Yeah, this is a nice crew. Let's go with this crew. Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand aside. No need to crowd around. Governor Dryson will take care of everything. It's ridiculous. Such a thing happening right in a rogue trader's palace? Excuse me? We are confronted by a sight of dead bodies at the entrance to the palace. Corpses have been hauled into a pile. Some are dressed in uniforms of palace wardens, while others are arrayed in clothing typical of the Dargonis nobility. Upon seeing you, the young enforcer stands at attention and swallows noisily. His voice trembles as he says, "Your lordship, we are honored by your presence." Examine the assailants. The bodies of the assailants are studded with many augments, but upon closer inspection, you realize they are not merely implants. The construction makes it clear that the deceased were not humans, but in fact, rare, high-functioning servitors. Huh. As far as I know, House Gaprick has received such servitors from the Crimson Brotherhood, priesthood, as gifts in the past, although this is my first time seeing one myself. Device, what is this mess? You see, your lordship, those people who wanted to attack... The Warren clears his throat. Second Lieutenant of the Palace Guard, Ellen Wett, reporting. See, lordship. Shortly before you arrived, we averted an assassination attempt on the rogue trader. The palace soldiers detected intruders and engaged them in combat. Where is the court chancellor, Clementia Wessarian? I think she is with the rest of her House Wessarian, detained in the throne room, that is. Governor Drydenstone has gathered all of Dargonis' nobility there to pronounce a guilty verdict against House Wessarian. Why is the governor not here to greet the rogue traitor? I do not know, your lordship. Perhaps he is... The guard throws a fearful gaze at Abelard. You can probably find him in the throne room, where the governor intends to put House Wessarian on trial. I must take my leave. Their bodies bear multiple wounds. It's evident they died recently. There's a crumpled up letter in the inside pocket of the assailant's blood-soaked jacket.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
See a blood-stained letter. Letter is soaked with blood. Only a portion of the text is readable due to the crimson blotches. Earful and discreet. Keep away from the lords and ladies. You must look like a noble to the servants and wardens. Do not engage in conversation with anyone. Your task is to avoid exposing yourself ahead of time. Let the Wessarians get away while the wardens are busy guarding the rogue trader.
I always keep my options open.
Suspicious?
Is dealing with my kin not considered treason among the monkey? Or
Or has greed so blinded you that you do not fear retribution? It all depends on where you're coming from. A crime that means a death sentence for some is really permitted for others. I just try to keep on top of my game and not let any opportunities pass me by.
To
Let us not dawdle.
through it. I have an appointment with Chancellor Clementia Versarian. Apologies, my lord, but you cannot go any further. Governor Drivesom's orders. It's ridiculous. I shall complain. Move over. Let his lordship the rogue traitor through. I humbly beg your pardon, your lordship. Hello there. Please, this way. Governor Urban Drivestem, your lordship, 'tis an honor. Governor Urban Drivestem seems to materialize out of thin air, so suddenly does he emerge from the crowd. I regret that such unfortunate circumstances have occasioned the rogue trader's visit to the capital. When she tries to take a step towards you, but the warden nearby stops her. Her face is veiled with fear and weariness. Your lordship, you're here. Please, you must hear us out. The rogue trader is undoubtedly here to listen to the testimony of each and every one of us, and to punish the traitors. The governor's words directed at Clementia are harsh. They're echoed by the scornful sneers and whispers of the assembled nobles. We've known each other for many decades now. We have had our fair share of disagreements, but do you really think my flesh and blood would trample upon the very definition of honor and loyalty? Ablard's voice is quivering with rage. The governor sweeps his gaze over Abelard and replies, a faint shadow of a doubt in his voice, with evidence implicating them Abelard. I'm sure that his lordship will arrive at a fair ruling. What are the charges against House Versarian? Disruption of the logistical lines, bribery of Adeptus Administratum officials, document forgery, and organization of heretical insurrections. On top of the evidently devastating economic impact this has had on your proctorate, these criminal acts have impeded the delivery of the imperial tithe, which in turn has drawn the Administratum's attention. An esteemed member of the Adeptus Arbites is expected to arrive on Dargonis shortly. Before they do, we are obligated to identify and punish those responsible. They're sending a space marine here? I mean, granted, I'm here with the space marine, but they're sending a space marine to get the tithe? Okay. Clementia, I wish to hear your account. Lordship, House Versarian denies all charges laid against it. Clementia glances at the governor with defiance. These last few months have indeed been trying for Dargonis, but we have done our best to remedy the situation. The family's every effort was focused on stabilizing the capital's logistics and economy, so much so that we failed to notice the web of intrigue unfolding behind our backs. What happened in my absence? When we caught wind of the rumors of your disappearance, we patiently awaited news of your return, but then Dargonis was struck by a series of terrible events. First was the sabotage of logistics that hampered shipments, then mass unrest spread across the entire planet. The minor noble houses began squabbling among themselves, trying to pin the blame on their rivals. We took great pains to calm them down and managed to quash the revolt, though not without some outside help, unfortunately. These events have also been overshadowed by the, I'm ashamed to say it even aloud in front of you, your lordship, the rumors circulating among the higher houses. The governor stammers, then takes a deep breath. Some are calling for Theodora's true heir to be installed as head of your house, Kunrad Voiderer. And all of your subjects have forgotten his past efforts for the benefit of the trade proctorate. Harrison stops talking, watching you with a tense expression. When the investigation was launched, the evidence led us to your Versarians. Why are there dead bodies at the entrance to my palace? Lordship, humbly beg your pardon, as Bows once again tried to placate you. See, right before your arrival, the palace guard discovered a plot to assassinate you. Fortunately, the malefactors were disposed of before they could cause you any harm. You aren't accusing one of Dargonis' leading noble houses on treason without airtight evidence, are you? Of course I have evidence, your lordship. The investigation has established that members of the Versarian family, which is responsible for both Dargonis' fleet and its logistics, use their contacts and influence to forge a host of documents in order to undermine the planet's supply routes and economy, thus fomenting unrest among the inhabitants. Allow me to introduce my son, Cornelius. The governor points to the lanky young man standing beside him. He bows courtly, but avoids meeting your eyes. Cornelius holds a prestigious position in the Ministron Palace, and it's thanks to him that we managed to identify and trace the entire chain of important documents. The investigation led us to the perpetrators, who admitted to acting on the orders of House Rosarian. It was they who were intent on spreading the idea of restoring the title of rogue traitor to the true heir. Look closer at the governor's son. Noticing the close attention of the rogue traitor, the young man averts his gaze. His long face is sweating. He presses his dried lips together tightly into a thin line. He seems to be afraid of something. You support the governor's accusations. Mariska's intended to change glances. The noble lords are averting their gazes, and the noble ladies hiding behind the fans. No one's willing to be the first to answer. Over his many years of service, Governor Driveston has earned Theodore's trust, and he holds his high office for a reason. Sarbrick's tone is stern and imperious. As a House Sarbrick, I support his accusations. Lordship, Governor Driveston has faithfully served the rogue traitor of House von Valencius and concerned himself with the future of your trade dynasty, and so House Gaprick thinks his charges against House Rosarian to be sound. The document hide Torinia's motion, but her voice sounds slightly timorous. I'm only asking you to allow me to speak in defense of my family's honor. The evidence provided by the governor is utterly false. I cannot refute it, but I can say with confidence that no one from my family has ever tried to forge documents in the depths of Ministrum, let alone undermine the economy of your capital. Advertising logistics, riots, conspiracy. The case appears to be flimsy. I wish to learn more before I make my final decision. As you wish, Lord Sir. The governor inclines his head and step out. Speak to me when you are ready to announce your verdict. Thank you for your willingness to help, Lord Captain. I'm certain that all the charges are false, and I would be grateful for your help in exposing them as such. I need to speak to everyone present, noble lords and ladies. Your presence.
I always have a backup plan.
Still the Rosarians last. What's going on here? Claim you knew nothing about the attack, is that right? Put that in your file. When you end up on a penal wall, the warden will be interested to read it. Just a servant, my lord. I'm a loyal subject of the Emperor. I serve only him and our esteemed rogue trader. How many instruments in this case? You never be clicking on some more within this server. And the server take 3 standard staring cycles. Data recording will take 30 staring. So, Gaprek. Lords and ladies, scrumptiously dressed in the colors of House Gaprek, are standing in the half circle around Torinia and her son Vincent. Bodies and faces of almost every member of their dynasty are covered in large, ornate augments. Torinia Gaprek courtesies to you. Her mechanical voice sounds distant and indifferent. Greetings, your lordship. May the Almside grant you understanding. With a click, her visor oculars swivel to the seneschal. Albert, it must be difficult for you to be here under these circumstances, with the house standing accused of such a grave crime. The family, Lady Torinia, is yet to be found guilty of anything. The verdict is for the rogue traitor to reach. Do you think the accusations against the Rosarian family are true? I will not take such a responsibility by myself and rule on their guilt, your lordship. Do you think Governor Driveston's accusations are worthy of consideration, however? I've examined the bodies of the assailants that were killed. All of them were high-functioning servitors. Some such servitors are only employed by families close to Adeptus Mechanicus. Isn't that so? It's possible to read Torinia's emotions in her heavily augmented face. But her sudden turn towards her family betrays her confusion and surprise. Perplexed whispers bounce from one family member to another. Impossible. We came here by ourselves, without any servitors. We know nothing about it. Lordship, thank you for informing us of this. You are absolutely right. My house has indeed been endowed with high-functioning servitors, a blessing for those who revere the Messiah. But today, none of our house members were accompanied by them. Which nobles might have reason to be party to such a conspiracy? So thanks for several minutes for replying. Pardon my bluntness, your lordship, but I'll answer truthfully. Could be anyone. Greed, fear, and ideals can drive even the most loyal subjects to the unthinkable. Listen, I wish to speak to you. Yes, sir, Lordship. How may I help you? What could you make of the charges against the Rosarian family? Could they truly be guilty? I do not think I can doubt the validity of the accusations, but Vincent's voice trails off, and he seems to retreat into himself for a moment. Before continuing, he takes a deep breath. I'm also not sure that House Rosarian had a reason to betray you, Lordship. I do not know of any instance where their loyalty to you and the Emperor was anything less than unwavering. Do you care for Astartia Rosarian? Are you prepared to watch her die? That seems weird to ask. No, that will do. Just take my leave. Starbucks. Before bowing, Sarbeck scrutinized you. Have a better judgment to look. Your Lordship. Sarbeck, looking like a younger copy of his father, stands at a slight distance, close to his mother. Expensive yet understated dress serves to highlight the dazzling beauty of Maxarius' wife, Regina Sarbeck. Sarbeck stares at Yerlet, and revulsion flickers across his face. Close to Macarius. Despite Sarbeck's attempts to suppress his revulsion, the presence of any humans in your retinue undoubtedly reflects his fervent desire to eliminate the human's humanity. Do my companions distress you, Sarbeck? Sarbeck's face turns red. His furious gaze trained upon you. Free-flowing rage boils in every word he says. The rogue trader is the chosen servant of the Emperor, and one of humanity's best. Surrounding yourself with depraved Xenos who scorn the very exceptionalism of humankind, you teeter on the brink of heresy. No privilege granted by the Emperor can blind others to that fact. The thought of existing in the same sector as Xenos is revolting, but their presence in your retinue here in the capital city of the Von Valencia's trade dynasty enrages me. To have Xenos sullen in the street of this planet after what we endured, and under the protection of the rogue trader, no less. Sarbeck takes a deep breath and exhales noisily. His rage subsides, but his burning gaze remains fixed on you. With a pained and distressed expression, Regina glances at her husband, her hands worrying the ruffles of her dress. Really believe the Rosarians are guilty? Certainly, Sarbeck replies without hesitation. Governor Dryson possesses proof of their guilt, and they have no means by which to refute it. If they ever entertain the idea of the Rosarians are being framed, how much longer would their house have lasted anyway, if it is so ill-prepared for treachery? He addresses Alar with a slightly mocking tone. My advice to House Rosarian would be not to appeal to the rogue trader for help, but instead to simply stop, accept their fate, and not make matters worse for themselves. Cannot remember the last one of Valencia seeking your advice on what House Rosarian should do in this situation. Pay attention, Macarius. Focus on the rogue trader's questions. You apart from the Rosarians could have motive to conspire against me. House Drivestrom, wishing to expand their clout. House Gabrick, who have lost their influence after the Kieva Gamma incident. Sarbeck looks back at his family and turns to you again. House Sarbeck, whose patriarch is too direct in his communication with the rogue trader. Anyone could have a reason to conspire against you, and equally. They could have none. Not a question of motive, but of loyalty. Your subject has sworn an oath of loyalty to you, so whose sincerity do you doubt? Silence sent to the palace were rare at high-functioning servitors. Do you think the Gaprex could be behind the attack? He looks away briefly and replies to you with a curt laugh. I always thought Torrini too weak to participate in such risky ventures. Seems I was wrong about her.
Keep your wits about you.
I should be exactly missing the major sense. Must be Clementia. To draw closer, the warden step aside, bowing respectfully, allowing you to approach the Rosarian family. Clementia, tired and slightly disheveled, is the first to bow her head to you in deference. Several men and women behind her follow suit. Your Lordship, the one stammers, as if lost for words, accept my most humble apologies for failing to greet you properly, and my thanks for agreeing to speak to me before making your final decision. Charges by the governor are severe, but I can only assure you of this, and swear on my own honor that we are not guilty of the crimes that House Rosarian is being accused of. Clementia, him sorrow creeps into Aguilar's voice, belying his stern facade. You're acting head of this family. You were supposed to take care of each and every family member. Now you're being accused of treason and collusion against the rogue traitor. The entire family is facing death. How could you let this happen? Number claims you forged documents in the Administratum. Fleet is the primary remit of House Rosarian. It is our responsibility. Logistics and supply routes are another area of our responsibility. Have no direct influence on the inner workings of Adeptus Administratum. First large-scale deliveries were cancelled after quantities of food were miscalculated by clerks in the Administratum. And then we were faced with incorrect weather data and a meandry of fuel budget. It was clear that the cause of all these problems was not the calculations performed in the Administratum, in one way or another, but no matter how many times we asked, we could not even obtain any clarification on the matter. Found this letter on one of the bodies of the heretics who planned the attack. What can you tell me about it? When she reads the letter, the Rosarian's behind her head and read it over her shoulder. Lordship, let's be frank. It would be foolish of me to try and orchestrate something like this, knowing how many wardens are patrolling your palace. And I'll let myself or anyone in my family get involved in such a scheme. The attackers were high-functioning servitors, ones that look closer to ordinary humans. Do you know anything about them? Servitors? Is that so? Quintina crosses her arms and furrows her brow deep in thought. I haven't counted servitors, but they were that were undistinguishable from normal augmented humans, but only once. They were accompanying several members of House Gaprak. If you are not guilty, who is? Who stands to gain from framing you? Anyone, really, Clementia replies with a bitter laugh. The other houses consider us unworthy of our position, and many would jump at the chance to get rid of us and gain control over what was once our domain. The planet's fleet and logistics, at the very least. Lady Theodora chose to grant noble status to the House Rosarian. The other houses, which have served in the expanse for millennia, did not welcome the decision, as it led to some difficulties. I want to find out what's going on here, who the real master behind all this is. Where should I start? I'm afraid it cannot be of much help. Talk to the representative of the other houses, eavesdrops in their retinue, and perhaps you will hear something unusual. Take my leave. So I should make the right decision and punish the culprits. Be sure of that. Rosarians thought too highly of themselves. Luckily, their brush with power has been brief. As long as the Macarius is the head, as long as Macarius is the head of our house, we have nothing to worry
Rise
about.
to the top, or get left in the dust.
If we serve the Conference Dynasty of traders, we have never given anyone cause to doubt our loyalty as long as seen Halen today. We came together, but haven't seen him since. We'll miss out on all the fun if he doesn't hurry up. Halen? Halen? Yes, I did see him briefly. He looked awfully tense, like he was fit to explode. I think he was heading towards the entrance hall, where the altars are. Do you think he knows something about the Rosarian's crimes? Him, as if I never had any business with those arrogant provernesses and... yes? Is everything okay? Looks like it. Weird. People are saying that Theodora wanted to name someone else as her heir. Nonsense. There's only one true rogue traitor. They deserve to be exposed and executed, even those among us. Deserve to be exposed and executed. Scribes really have evidence of the Rosarian's guilt. They deserve to be exposed. The Rosarians, people are saying that Theodora wanted to name someone else as her heir. Nonsense. There's only one true rogue traitor. That sounds awfully suspect.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Let's see what I thought was down here. Halen. How exciting. Halen. Finely dressed man of middle years is kneeling in front of the altar, his palms folded in prayer close to his face. The implant-free parts of his skin are sickly blue color. The man does not react to your presence. He does not lift his head. He does not blink. He does not even breathe. When you draw closer, do you realize that he is dead. The blood looks at the man, his eyes grim. He closes the house Gaffrin. I do not believe he decided to take his own life in such an extravagant way. As far as I know, there's a warden post here, but I do not see any wardens. Sinestro looks around. There's no one to ask about what happened here, or with whom this man spoke before he died. To ask Urban where the palace guard suddenly disappeared to. Examine the body. There are no visible wounds on the body, but near the edge of the gold-trimmed collar you notice a tiny puncture in his blue skin, likely a wound caused by a thin needle. Try to determine the cause of death. Death came from sudden and ravaged his body with cramping spasm, preventing him from falling to the ground. Some rare poisons have such side effects. The infection made him suck face slowly without being able to move or call for help. Search the pockets. Discover a secret pocket in the lining of the dead man's luxurious jacket. Find a folded piece of paper inside, hiding behind a handkerchief embroidered with the letters HG. Sure that Rogue Trader is attacked by someone loyal. It should appear as if it was all staged to let the Versarian family escape. It's the last assignment. Soon your debt will be paid off in full. Look around. I'm almost certain that the wardens are usually stationed nearby. The post is empty. Where have they gone? This would be an excellent question to pit to Governor Drivestone. So Halen Gaprick was responsible for the framing. Well, was responsible for hello? Lordship, are you leaving already? But everyone was waiting so eagerly for your verdict. I kindly ask you to speak to Governor Drivestone before leaving. I actually walked up to talk to you, but okay. Drivestone was surrounded by his retinue, who were all dressed in expensive gowns and finery. The matching colors seen with their outfits and the striking physical resemblance among them suggest they all came from one family. Lordship, thank you for giving this case your undivided attention. The governor bows and the rest hasten to follow suit. She hears reason again. What makes you think the Versarians behind the plot against me? Some logistical and economic problems gave rise to his initial rumors. We tried to find the person responsible for spreading the calls for a vote for his return. The investigation showed us that some of the documents inside the deficit ministry were forgeries. We could thank my son Cornelius for such astute observations. Lordship, a slender young man bows to you. Awkwardly nervous, he licks his dry lips. Assure you that my humble person is undeserving of your attention. Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it was he who discovered the errors leading to the disrupted logistics. It was also thanks to him that we found the perpetrators of the forgeries. We admitted into acting on the orders of House Versarian. How do you think of this letter? I found it on one of the assailants. Trying to pierce closely at the blood-stained letter. Looks like another piece of evidence incriminating House Versarian. Perhaps they truly did intend to kill you, or at least cause a stir to help them escape custody during the confusion that followed. All the assailants were high-functioning servitors, such servers only employed by families close to Adeptus Mechanicus. Functioning servitors, Drivestone ponders this, rubbing his chin with his thumb. Servitors are indeed rare. The Gapricks do have them in their service. Those could have been done intentionally with an eye to confusing you. Anyone with a desire and sufficient funds can hire them. Tell me more about your son, Drivestone. Thank you for your interest, Lordship, but I am not worthy of it. The governor's son bows and stands still as he nervously stares down at the floor. Son, show due respect. Forgive him, your lordship. This is the first time he has had the honor of attracting the attention of the Rogue Trader. Tell me more about your job, Cornelius. What do you do? Manage the documents and records related to the economy of Argonis. You probably know how scrupulous the workers of the Adeptus Ministratum are. I'm afraid that a more detailed explanation of duties would mirror the administrative processes of the Administratum, too long and overly detailed. The Administrator is looking in the eye, but it's clearly hard for him to do so. How did you manage to find the forged documents and bureaucratic hell that is the Administratum? In compiling reports on last cycle's supply chain, I noticed inaccuracies and discrepancies in the figures. To help the other clerks, I managed to find several other documents, Cornelius stammers and swallows noisily. Comprehensive data analysis has shown that the discrepancies were caused by intentional tampering with the data, thus leading to some logistical problems that were practically unsolvable. Father and I have managed to single out the Administratum clerks responsible for tampering with the data. Following a heated interrogation, they confessed they were following the orders of someone from House Rosarian. Everything was supposed to look as though they were the ones suffering losses from logistical and economic problems. But does House Rosarian have access to adapters in Administratum? There's no conceivable way they could do all this in a place where they do not hold any power. Before replying, the governor's son nervously adjusts his expensive frock coat. I think the right amount of money can open any door. Cornelius, what is the true reason for your nervousness? Elmias's pupils suddenly dilate. He stands at attention and replies to you in one breath. It's the first time I have spoken face to face with a rogue trader. I'm afraid of saying something wrong or forgetting something important. The governor closely watches his son. His tone changes. Now son is eyeing strict and curt. You wish to tell the Lord Captain anything else? He clearly has something to say, but he's afraid of Urban, his father. So let's make him afraid of me. Place your hand on your weapon. You're speaking to a rogue trader, and my patience is running out. I'm sorry to be aggressive, but if you're going to be more fearful of your father than me, sorry, but I need the answers. You see the flash of terror in Cornelius' eyes as he stares at your hand on your weapon. He speaks quietly and confusedly, without raising his head. Forgive me, your lordship. I can't do it anymore. This lie has gone too far, and I can no longer control it. The truth is that all the logistical problems are caused by a single error in the numbers. My mistake. What? Urban looks genuinely shocked and enraged. When I discovered the mistake, it was almost impossible to restore the supply lines. Then I was approached by someone who said they were a friend, but not giving me their name, and I never saw their face. They promised to fix a problem. All I had to do was pretend the Frisarians were responsible for the mistake, and as for the rest of the evidence, they promised to arrange it all, and Cornelius is suffocating with fear, unable to speak. Irving curls his hands into fists. His knuckles turn white. What have you done? How could you? Your lordship. He suddenly turns to you as if trying to shield his son. This is my fault. Trust my son. I have failed you in doing so. I beg you, have mercy. Another shakes his head. You called my family's honor into question, Urban. Nevertheless, I harbor no desire to kick a man when he is down. Lord Captain, the confession you have obtained means the House of Sarian cannot be cleared of all charges. But we still don't know who was behind the forgeries, the riots, the plot, and the assassination attempt. Someone is committing their foul deeds and summoning chaos right under your subjects' noses. I believe that so in turn would be dangerous. Just sentence them to death immediately, oh god. What is this friend that approached you, Cornelius? How did the two of you communicate? By letter. I received a letter out of the blue one day. It was unsigned, but the person writing already knew about my erroneous calculations. They offered to help me cover up my misdeed, and in return, I would name the Rosarians as the one who had sabotaged the supply lines. All I had to do was gather together some documents and reports that were listed in one of the letters. That, and keep my mouth shut. Revan, your son has found the courage to admit his mistake. I will try and find some compassion for him in my heart. Thank you, your lordship. The governor bows low and gives his son a look full of bitterness and frustration. As for your position, I think you'll be reassigned to a role requiring less responsibility. So return to you later.
Let us not dawdle.
Greetings, lordship, my officer. Uncle must be. Found this note on the device of one of your attackers. What are your thoughts on it? The mechanical fingers grip pair. Officially, high-functioning servers are employed by my house alone. Such units were to attack the rogue trader, suspicion would instantly fall upon the governors. I assume that is what the Rosarians intended to happen, and I expect the servitors would have this letter on them. I discovered a dead body, a member of your house, right here in my palace. He died kneeling in prayer. Marina covers her mouth open with her hand in surprise and turning to her family, looking for someone amongst them. Halen, it can't be. And was it? Tell me about him, Toriana. Helen's one of the lower-ranking members of House Gabriel. Despite his advanced age, he never held high office, but is forever striving to better his position. Even beyond his abilities, many members of my house struggled to cope with the misfortune that befell Kieva Gamma and our family. Some members could not reconcile themselves to our new position. Halen was one of them. What could have happened to him? Raina's visor was fixed on the floor, her fingers relentlessly clenching the fabric of her dress. Toriana, the time to keep silent is long gone. The future of the Von Flinch's trade dynasty and your house are both at stake now. You lost Kieva Gamma, a truly devastating blow to every member of House Gaprick. Lost all hope for the future, and my kin lost their sense of purpose. We needed time to recover and try a new course for ourselves. We were, and still are, more than capable of doing that. Though not deny it, the other houses offered us their assistance, for their own self-serving ends. I silently decided to take them up on one of their offers behind my back. Senecio bows over ever so slightly and speaks quietly, so only you can hear him, or Captain Gaprix. All, or perhaps only some of them, are definitely involved. But I suspect that they were not behind the plot against you. Then Gaprix would be nothing more than a puppet in the hands of a deaf puppet master. We must expose whoever that is that we are to prevent the pestilence of heresy from spreading any further. What do you suggest we do? Target the heads of the Drivestim and Cyberek houses. One of them has been pulling the strings here. Once we uncover new evidence, announce that the guilty party will be publicly executed. Before you pronounce a verdict, I suggest focusing on each house in your indictments to each. I shall observe them. I have known these people far longer than you have. I know all their gestures, habits, and behavioral quirks. I'm sure that I will be able to determine which of them was responsible for the riots based on their behavior. Discovered a dead body in my palace. A man of House Gaprix was killed while praying to the Emperor. I have this note on him. Do you know anything about it? Garrett looks the note without taking it from your hands, and replies without hesitation. No, I know nothing about this note. The unveiled hatred for me is so obvious, Cyberek. It is grounds enough to charge you of heresy. I'm hearing this from you, the Emperor's servant, who flouts all that is sacred, the person who seems to think the laws of the Imperium are meaningless. Curious, now is not the time you would do well to stop and not make matters worse for yourself. So my family greets you in subdued voices. Discovered the body of Helen Gaprix here, in his palace. He had this note on. Do you know anything about it? The young members of the same family crowd around to examine the note and clench his hands. All present are beset with worry and bewilderment. Not sure if it is relevant, perhaps you should know. Since the fall of Kiev Gamut, House Gaprix has been faring poorly, to say the least. I've been looking for ways to enhance their influence and to improve their lot, including asking for help from the other noble houses. They have not approached us, of course. It is shameful to seek help from those who consider you your inferiors, you understand. That the Drysims or the Cybereks can tell you more about this matter. Since they had a life serving loans, we do not trump up charges. The only reason we're staying here today, nothing more. Charges that cannot possibly any evidence to collaborate them. We're not involved in any plot, and we're alive. The Quinitress, she won't let us be killed, will she? We're not involved in the plot. I'm taking things too far. Lucky that lady Lord Urban and managed to uncover the grubby plot so quickly. Taking things too far. Stands of nothing but job sorts. What are they ever done to their standing? We're low servants of our true era. Of our rogue traitor, the true heir of Theodore von Valencius. Once more, calling out the true heir. Oh, servants of our rogue traitor. Yeah, suspicious. It's the second time. Say they serve them as dynasty of rogue traitors. Never given anyone caught. Not to hide themselves. The Lordship will make the right decision. The Lordship will make the right decision. Faithful serve the household. Brief. Why do I feel like the Cybereks are actually the only ones here not guilty?
Keep your wits about you.
Did you see Helen Gapper the day before I arrived? Helen? I did not see him myself, but perhaps. Hammer turns around and asks Helen, "Have any of you seen him today?" Couples talk quietly among themselves, and then a middle-aged woman with a tall, extravagant hairstyle replies to you. "I think my sister and I saw him sitting on the bench some distance away from the palace entrance. I think he was accompanied by a gentleman. Forgive us, Lord Elizabeth. Could not make out his face." For information, maybe we should go to that spot and have a look around. Sure, not the day full of surprises, mostly nasty ones. Okay, found a dead body in my palace. Remember how Scaprick was laying in front of an altar. You know anything about it? Remember how Scaprick was killed in the palace? His eyes bold and surprised, and no one noticed? But how? Their warrants parsed at every altar. There was no one near the deceased. The wardens had left their post. Did you order them to do so? Forbid, your lordship. The governor helplessly throws his hands up in the air as if signifying his powerfulness. Negligence, stunning urban. Assassination attempt followed by a mysterious death. And yet, here you are, oblivious to everything. The rogue trader can justly accuse you of allowing an noble to be killed in the palace and not failing even to notice. It may be so, but it is for the rogue trader to accuse me of negligence, not you. The governor addresses you once more. Your lordship, accept my deepest apologies for my imprudence. Nothing matters more to me than my honor. I shall send the servants to deal with all this immediately. So, who done it? So, I believe some of the drive stems are involved. Though, I don't believe it's actually on Urban.
I always have a backup plan.
Some of the Gaprex are involved. But I don't think Toriana is in on it. They're leads. Macarius might be involved. But the Sarbucks themselves seem innocent. So, let's see what more stuff pops up at the interrogation. So, and everyone, I'm ready to pronounce my verdict. Understood, your lordship. Allow me to prepare everything. Your faces are watching you, and everyone awaits the rogue trader's verdict with bated breath. Charges brought by Governor Driveston were fabricated. House Viserion had nothing to do with the orchestration of the riots or the plot targeting the rogue trader. However, the real perpetrators are here in this very room. Seneschal nods to you as if urging you to continue, and shifts his piercing gaze to the crowd before you. Urban Driveston, you have exhibited inexcusable negligence by failing to question the possible involvement of any other family beside the Viserions. You have discovered that the attempt on my life was orchestrated by a member of House Gaprick. The governor closes his eyes. Fear and shame gain the better of him. Some faces in the crowd look confused and surprised, but see more wearing expressions of self-satisfied contempt. Arlo looks from the governor to you and softly shakes his head, as if to say no, as not Driveston pulling the strings here. Urban Driveston? Urban. Jordan Gaprick, a member of your family, orchestrated an assassination attempt against me. Here in my own palace. Though he has already been found dead, it has acted as a reason enough to forever brand your house as traitors. Mocking whispers creep through the crowd. Toriana is trembling faintly. She still does not raise her head, perhaps out of fear of meeting her fate face to face. Seneschal's hard gaze softens, and an elusive gesture, visible only to you, conveys the message. Toriana Gaprick is guilty only of her own poor judgment. Driveston, you have accused House for saying violations that were in truth the result of grave error committed by your son. When he closes his eyes, fear and shame gain the better. Carius Sarbeck, your overt contempt towards me is reason enough to implicate you in the conspiracy. The crowd remains silent, with only their tense, anxious gazes darting back and forth between you and Macarius. Sarbeck's brow rises higher, and you notice his jaw working nervously. Our Lord narrows his eyes and scrutinizes Macarius Sarbeck, and his retinue standing right behind him. For a second, his sharp eyes seem to have caught sight of something, only to lose track of it the next moment. This point inside tells you, it could be Sarbeck. Is he really the one behind all this? Conspiracy against Rogue Trader, I find And the room was frozen with tense, almost electrified of silence. All the nobles sung with fear, and others with revert anticipation. Await your verdict. I don't believe it's House Sauerbeck. The head of the family hates me immensely. But none of his people spoke hostilely towards me. They all talked about serving the rogue traders and his lordship. It was House Gapric's people that were talking about serving the true rogue trader. So I'm going to go for House Gapric. Sir revels the Toriana's body, and she looks on the verge of fainting, but manages to stay on her feet. Laughing on her face made an unpleasant click before she starts talking. As you realize, Lordship, House Gapric has been loyal to you in life, and will remain loyal in death. Shadow falls across Abel's face, his tones unwavering, but you hear the soft ring of regret in it. The Dunwell Dynasty's all its branches have been found guilty of heresy. By the order of the rogue trader, the entire house will be executed, and must be carried out immediately. Now the prejudice steps firm, Lord Captain. Yeah, my thanks. The rogue trader shall not waste his time in the matters that something the trustees are going to resolve. In this case, your invasion was necessary, not just for the sake of my high, but for your trade dynasty as well. There's no doubt the Gaprics were involved in the plot. That is, I hope their death will end the spread of potential heresy among the nobles in your domain. Thanks to you, Lord Captain, House of Sarian is safe. Although it came close to being wiped out, the result was scheming without and imprudence within. Sometimes I think about how much I could teach them, and destroy them that survive in this future without me. What are you going to do now? You need time to reflect on what happened and the role I played in it. I think we'll be ready to resume this conversation later when you're back on the board of the ship. No, that wasn't right. Something's not right here. Something I'm missing.
I always keep my options open.
What am I missing? You
Rise
glitched.
to the top or get left in the dust.
What am I missing here? What am I missing? Heard that those are all blaming to man. When you find the young governor, the principal heir of the noble house, I heard that the daughters of the Archers are inappropriately obliging to the young man. Hardly surprising, only the unsightly specimens from the menstruum circles could find that scrawny runt worthy of attention. Is that right? Well, I've heard that the young man is mad about the daughter of another family entirely. Not so sure if his parents will approve of his choice. Are you okay, little server skull? What? Whom do you mean? Oh, enough of the suspense. Your lordship. Change salvation salute you.
Is there money to be made?
To you, greetings to you. Protect you. Greetings to you. To the Palace Systems Networks. Guys from the spaceport saying about these enemies of humanity. It's just staff on the augurs exaggerating to make themselves feel more important. You think? What if they're telling the truth? Well, you know that thing about St. Cognatius. Enough already about St. Cognatius. The voyage ship perished on its voyage. No enemies of humanity had anything to do with it. Yeah, sure. Keep thinking like that. What if they come here? If someone is dumb enough to try their luck in Dargonas, they'll quickly regret it. Have you ever seen our batteries? Are there regions of wardens that are kept in the lower levels? Regiments? Maybe you're right. Well, if it did happen, what would we do? We'd be stuck here in the lap of luxury. No fortifications, nothing. Everything is on the outer perimeter. Although, if it came to it, there are plenty of nooks and crannies in this place. Spots where we could hide and wait it out. Hey, what are you doing? Shut up, before I write you out for treason talk. You have our mind prattling out loud like that? Keep your mouth shut, got it? Fine, fine, I'll shut up. That's much better. Move the rogue trader. What are you up to?
Let us not dawdle.
Hmm. Blessing seeing good health, lordship, and correcting, yada yada. And in light, the coin falls into clear water and sinks to the bottom.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Also, I bless the Valentine's dynasty. What? My lord? I don't understand what you mean. Stop playing dumb. You know why I'm here. Oh lord, you shouldn't shout like that. You don't want the whole palace to know about your taste, do you? Here, in this case, is everything I had promised. Perfect transparency. Excellent sharpening. I would have to check them on the spectrograph. My lord, what do you think I am? Have you ever had a problem with our product before? I suppose. We're done here. Guards, follow me. Waiting for your next box message, my lord. Now he's laughing. Shady character. Another day, is it, your lordship? Your presence makes it better. So where are you going? Or are you just gonna disappear again? Just disappears. Okay.
Keep your wits
But
about
my
you.
lord, I don't understand what you mean. My lord, you shouldn't shout like that. You know. Can't exchange banner. Sorry, is not noticing your presence. Try the Colonel's Expanse, made the world tremble. Oh. As soon as I'm able to respond to your request, and we'll be occupied for another cycles. Please submit your request for me. 5 cycles.
I always keep my options open.
That and about all, I can feel confidence and brushstrokes in the artist's commitment to the concept. However, I expect something more extraordinary from a place like this. I imagine this was a gift, not a commissioned piece, considering how often Sovereign is away and how much this place is managed. How much this place is managed in his absence. I wouldn't be surprised if his sight of this painting on the wall is a surprise for him as well. Sight of this painting on the wall. So don't wear your trophies and strategies are completely safe.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
So your people's with you there. Stuff. But how many server? In fact, we're trying greetings from the Crimson Frost. Submit outside mercy on the machine spirits and weapons and void vessels.
I always have a backup plan.
Well, I can feel confident. Resting your bustingly march of darkness blood and in your vision to support.
Is there
Choice.
money to be made?
Fine.
Let us not dawdle.
I cannot be leashed.
Chip.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
What am I missing? Now, Hell's Gaprick is guilty. Not all of them are guilty, and they weren't the ones orchestrating it. Airship, are you leaving already? Everyone's waiting for you. Okay.
I always keep my options open. I always have a backup plan.
What's going on here? Oh, lady, please, calm down. Did you see what happened here? It's terrible. They seem to be ordinary low-ranking aristocrats. But with their tasteless, gaudy clothes, and then they pulled out weapons. Goodness gracious, pass me the wine, please. Thank you, my lady. Do you remember anything else, by any chance? I do not remember anything else. Throw no mercy. I am quite overcome. I need to sit down.
Is there money to be made? Miscalculations are for commoners. I don't make mistakes. I make profitable learning experiences. Keep your wits about you.
Salbreck, I go against your despicable verdict. I will accept it. House Salbreck has never given me any reason to doubt our loyalty, and thus I will accept death with pride. But there's more honor than that is serving the likes of you. Chance of violence seems as if he's suddenly looking down at you from a great height. Eugene takes a breath to say something, but stops at the last moment. Her real face does not express anything but frosty resignation. No, Prince has been found guilty, but they are. No, something's still not right. Something's still missing. Captain, thanks for the time. Was one of the first families come to Expansive. Served the Emperor at least according to the fish man. It's quite rare that a noble line has ended in such a manner. When I was returned and saved. Something's not right. Is something like glitch? Is there something I'm missing? Okay. So I believe there is something I'm missing.
Rush not dawdle.
So from looking through stuff, supposedly there's a lot of bugs
I always
in this
keep
quest.
my options
So
open.
of course, supposedly there's a way to confront Sarbak about them being that, and supposedly there's a wine bottle. Yeah, a lot of the aristocrats are talking about wine.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Cast your eye there.
I have learned much in my exile.
Oh, that scent spicy, a bit tart. I'm almost sure that I've tasted a wine with that as bouquet before. Monsieur, House Sarbak usually serves as wine to their guests.
Is there money to be made? I always have a backup plan.
So the crime you're being accused of, your crime too, you know. My apologies for not losing cousin. Remember, it's worship for them.
Rush not dawdle.
So I found the wine, I found the dead body, passed all the checks. Where are the dialogue options that I'm missing?
Keep your wits about you.
Apparently that's just random dialogue.
Always keep your eye on the prize. Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
That's what I missed. Oh, this is nice. Saw him. Let me show you where they are.
Is there money to be made?
Leads you to there, doesn't it? There we go. Starbuck fears his brown, so he cocks his head. He reverses his gaze for the first time, trying to remember or make sense of something. You know, some restless movements behind him. Everyone nears his eyes, scrutinizing the carrier Starbuck, and his retinue stand behind him. He nods, as if to say, the puppeteers has given themselves away. Pronounce the verdicts. Conspiracy against Rogue Shader, I find. House Starbuck guilty, so naturally I may take it from here. The Lord steps forward and stares intently at House Starbuck's patriarch. Paris, I must admit, I've always admired your bluntness, but just as I once had to say goodbye to a promotion because of my dislike for intrigue, you and your family might soon say goodbye to your heads. Tell me now in your blunt fashion, are you loyal to House von Valencius? Starbuck narrows his eyes. I am loyal, Orsarian. Abelard studies Starbuck and suddenly nods. You're not lying, but someone else is. Someone who is posed to destroy both you and your family for her own gain. Carius does not have time to respond. Regina, who is standing beside him, raises her arm as if to slap the elderly Seneschal. Abelard deftly catches her wrist, stopping her hand right in front of his face. Her dainty hand is adorned with a massive augmetic ring, topped with a thin spike dripping with venom. Direct shifts his confused gaze from his wife to Abelard, then back again, as if arrogance has vanished from his posture. Regina? You? Mother? Upon realizing what has happened, Hector recoils from his mother. Various, your bluntness makes you an open book. When I talk about helping the Gaprex, you had no idea what I was referring to. Your wife, on the other hand, her eyes started shifting like you would not believe. Regina Shabrick, you alone betrayed the rogue traitor, jeopardizing the prosperity of the Von Valencius trade dynasty. And you alone are responsible for your unmasking. Regina, why would you do this? Like a spike on your ring, Regina's words are dripping with poison rage, because Dragonus is serving an impostor. The true heir of the Proctorate bears a different name. Coonrod appeared on Dragonus, he paid me a visit, and opened my eyes to the truth of the situation. Theodora was killed by the one whom she had so unwaringly taken under her wing. Carrius is too narrow-minded to even consider opposing the rogue traitor, even an illegitimate one. So I had to wait for the right moment, and the disappearance of the Lord Captain could not come at a better time. Quite simple to trigger a chain of events on Dragonus so that the people remembered Master Voyager's past service, seeing that many of the subjects do not actually consider you a worthy successor. Why the Brasarians? Has been stripped of Sinestral's protection. This house is the weakest, one on all of Dargonus. and they are all also particularly disliked by the governor's family. It would have been easy to bury the Rosarians under accusations of heresy. Who aided you? There's no way you managed this all on your own. Oh, of course I didn't. I have too many helpers to list them all, but rest assured there are plenty of them. Just there are plenty of people who follow the Master Volker. My death will not change anything. Sure, Rogue Trader will come and take his rightful place when the time is right. Why'd you kill Hallen Gaprak? Hallen was a good agent, but he was also a coward. Came to me just before our formidable Rogue Trader arrived. He's ready to confess to everything. Suggests that he plead for the Emperor's forgiveness first, and he did grant him mercy, did he not? Our sentence has yet to be carried out. Finish this. I'll turn his gaze to you. Does the Rogue Trader condemn only the rotten apple or the entire barrel? I'll not exterminate an entire noble line that was loyal to me just because of one traitor. In that case, Regina Starbuck shall be subjected to intense interrogation, followed by execution. Any weapon that fires a single liquid-fire shot can only be used once per combat. Interesting. That's Xenos. Rogue Trader, Regina Starbuck sends to death for heresy and crimes against Von Valencia's trade dynasty. What are they doing to her? Oh god. Well, dang. And the nobles disperse, sated by the bloody performance. Outlaw approaches you and steps firm, or captain. Yeah, I think Rogue Trader does not waste his time on the matters that concern the for the sake of free trade dynasty as well. Gina Starbuck, evidently, Coonrad's accomplishments continue to plot against your proctorate. I have not heard the last of such scoundrels. Thanks to you, Lord Captain, House Rosarian saved. So it is, blah, blah, yep. So dumb that was a stupid bottle of wine missed. Though if I would have just paid closer attention to dialogue, I would have noticed that it wasn't him. She didn't notice him in the corner praying. She noticed him in the corner sitting. Ah. So annoying. Also, now let me hear of Ulfar. Where is Ulfar? Where does Ulfar end up? Wait, I can check on my map. There we go. That took a lot longer. All for one bottle of wine. I didn't pay attention to the fact that it was a meeting place and not a prayer place. Ulfar. Good avoid Drakra and a crew, but you cannot compare it to the Wolf ship. Okay. Avoid ship bridge. I don't think I've talked to Ulfar since being on board the ship.
Broke free the bold from captors grasping. city's feeble dungeons, eternally disgracing. Flows now this saga in the hall of glorious feasting, where all extol the wolf mighty, and the yet fatter cunning. I hope you're not going to put off the feast. Our escape demands a grand celebration.
What are you planning to do with your newly acquired freedom?
Find my pack. As we speak, they are likely performing some bloody service for Calcazar. For that reason, I want to have a word with the Inquisitor.
Why do you call me Atvatar?
This is the name given on Fenris to a pack father, a commander or captain. An Edfater answers to a Jarl, the commander of a great company. Since you are the one who commands your crew, and I follow you at present, I am granting you the honored title of Edfater.
Thank you for this honor.
Be worthy of it, and see that you do not disgrace this glorious rank.
Alright.
Fenris Hilda, Edfater.
Alright. Cool to know. Abelard.
Lord Captain, allow me to express my gratitude once again for your assistance. If it weren't for your intervention, my entire family could have been executed on false charges. I could have lost them all. I never imagined the Viserians would be so vulnerable while I serve as seneschal to the Lord Captain himself, far from home. To tell you the truth, Lord Captain, this whole situation has got me thinking. As patriarch of the Viserian family, I have a responsibility to my bloodline. Yes, it is my duty to serve as seneschal to the rogue trader, and I have no intention of relinquishing that role, if you find my service as satisfactory as did Lady Theodora. However, if I could be more involved in my family's affairs, and still serve the von Valancius dynasty.
What do you want? Tell me plainly.
Under Lady Theodora, I served as steward of the Trade Protectorate on more than one occasion. In that capacity, I was based on Dargonus, rather than traveling with the rogue trader on the flagship. If it would be possible, after the immediate need for my presence is over, I would like to return to that position. To oversee the Trade Protectorate on the capital world, while at the same time presiding over the Viserian family, and using my authority to help elevate it.
Understandable. I understand your desire. Traditions and old ways must change. I will allow you to return to Gardeners after the immediate crisis in the Expanse has passed.
Thank you, Lord Captain. Under my watch, the Trade Protectorate will remain safe and prosper in service to you. Well then, Lord Captain, it is time I return to my duties. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Until next time.
Lord Captain.
Alright, also let's check out some shopping. See here, up to a Fellowship of the Void a bit. Does that give me access to anything I want? I'll take that. No, I'll take that too. I don't think I'll use it, but I'll take it. Okay, also increase of Explorators. can get that. Can get that. Some scrap. I didn't do anything to gain favor with this battle commission, did I? I don't think I did. I also want to check my ships and gear, and then I'll probably be ending stream. Alright. Four on the port and starboard. Let's go with that armor. Let's go with the Eye on Messiah. About to actually switch that off. Sun Hammer. There we go. Upgrades to the ship, because I forgot to ever upgrade it. You know, like a full. So, that's going to be it for stream today. Well, I'm annoyed that I had to look it up because I made such an obvious blunder. And I'm glad I found the full solution to the situation. And, yeah. So, gone pretty late, so this is going to be it for stream today. I will continue Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader come next Thursday. My next stream will be Monday with Horizon Forbidden West. And with all that said, it's going to be it for stream today. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow, etc. Helps out for those things to be done. And yeah, have a good time whatever time zone you're in, and bye for now.